What challenges do you anticipate with working with families and the youth population, and how will you meet these challenges?
Well, in today's society, the youth are faced with many more issues than we did, especially social media, um, which I think is a prevailing issue among youth. But there are things that have been around for many, many years in my generation and even in generations before mine. And these issues, financial problems, unemployment, underemployment within the household, domestic violence, these are issues that today's youth and youth from the past were dealing with. My training that I've received in my graduate program has equipped me with tools to be able to address these issues and to be able to put in place a plan to be able to assist this population, particularly with programs and other resources that I've identified through my work in the community in different organizations, and of course ones that we will find within the auspices of this position.
What is the key to successful event planning?
Well, event planning is... Well, the answer to that question is actually in the way that you phrased the question. It's all about planning. And the different events that I've done, from large events with $200,000 and $300,000 budgets where 10,000 people showed up, in events that I've done for small groups of people in the numbers 5-10 people, I made sure that I spent sufficient amounts of time preparing a plan for the event and how things would run afterwards. So much of these skills you can find in project management, and that's how making a successful event is done, by the proper planning of that event in advance.
What is your biggest strength walking into this position?
Well, my biggest strength, I believe, is in my ability to see the bigger picture. I've always had the ability to separate the wheat from the chaff. If I see a problem, I kind of just can break the problem down into smaller parts and then attack it on its smaller parts. There's an old adage, how do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. And so for me, that ability has served me well in other leadership roles, and I anticipate it serving me in the future.
The job description mentions responding to and follow through with inquiries, needs, complaints, and/or issues. In your opinion, what is the best way to respond to someone who has left you a voice message about services or a program that, in his eyes, was poorly executed?
I look at this as an opportunity. When someone takes their time to give me feedback, whether it's positive or negative, I see it as an opportunity to get better. I would meet that comment head on and further ask them what exactly seemed to be the problem. And hopefully we'll be able to get to some sort of resolution on how we can make the next event better, and how we would be able to maybe grow as a team and as an organization.
It has been our experience that volunteers are hard to come by. Has that been your experience? What is the key to getting the community involved?
Well, I've not had a problem with being able to galvanize the support of the community, and that's because I think we've done a good job in the past of defining whatever the issue was and making sure that we're tailoring that message to people who care about it. If you're dealing with an organization that deals with cancer, just about everyone has been touched by that disease. So framing it in a way that will make it important to the person is how you galvanize people to become involved, and letting them see how their contribution can actually benefit the organization is how you keep people there.
Please describe your experience in detail with peer-to-peer mentoring programs.
In my current role with Bank of America, we do have a peer-to-peer mentoring program of which I'm a part of. I've had great success within the organization as far as selling is concerned, and being able to close deals. So I've been approached by my manager to be able to work with others on my team to get them to the level that I'm at. I find this a very rewarding, and it also sharpens my skills as I'm sitting with someone and coaching them on the ways and techniques to get to the end of a sale. It reinforces the skills that I use every day, and it makes my job that much easier. And also to be able to see someone who is at the bottom of the ranking to come up, it gives me a feeling of gratification that I was able to be a part of that.
In this position, there is a lot of interaction with the general public for kickoff events, outreach programs, and fundraising events. Please tell us about your experience interacting with the general public.
Well, I've got 18 years involved in a career in radio. That's, very public intensive. Literally hundreds and hundreds of events, kickoff events where I've hosted, events that I've planned and executed myself, and even afterward, I spent a lot of time interviewing people of all walks of life, and I think that that's given me a unique ability to be able to relate to people. When you've honed the skill for 18 years, I never feel uncomfortable going into new situations because I know I can think of something that I can connect with a person on. And you would think that, with a job where we're doing a lot of talking, I've become a great listener by interacting with the public. And that's the quickest way to engage someone, is to ask them questions about themselves. And I've developed a large list of people who I can, call upon for different things over the years because of that skill. So I'm excited about being able to bring this unique talent to an organization where they could be benefited by that.
With your extensive management experience, tell us about an experience you had with a difficult employee and how you handled it.
Well, I had a situation when I worked in Dallas, Texas. I was over about 35 people in 2 different departments. And once I was given the promotion, there were some people who in my former role dealt with me in one way, and as I became a manager had a problem with transitioning into that particular role. And just with about everything that I experience in life, I like to deal with it head on. I noticed that there was a problem, and I addressed the person directly, and I let them know, this is the new role that I have, and these are my job duties, and I'm going to have to complete them. I would love for us to get along and to continue the way that we had been, but if that's not possible, I'm still going to have to continue on with the job that I've been tasked to do. So I think that really set the tone, which allowed her to get on board, because she knew that there was going to be really no other way that she could go without run into an issue with upper management, because I did let her know that would be the next step if we had to continue with this problem.
Please tell us about your #1 salesperson ranking. What did it involve?
Well, at the bank, I had never worked in a financial institution. Like I said earlier, I had an 18-year career in radio, and it has benefited me with being able to talk with so many different people and meet them on a level that they're at. From day one, out of training, I've been one of the #1 sales people within our division and within the company. The particular #1 salesperson bullet point, if you will, that you saw on my resume was regarding the direct and IMA channels within the organization. Of course, you're not familiar with what direct and IMA means, but basically direct and IMA channels are the channels where the company has identified that the customer was not inquiring about our products or our services. They were calling for another reason. And I was able to turn those calls into money-making, revenue-generating calls for the bank. So in the month of February and the month of March, I was recognized as the person who earned the most money in the direct and IMA channels within the organization. There's about 2,000 people that work at the call center. So I was ranked #1 in February and in March. And it's something that I was very proud of, specifically because, like I said, I don't have a financial background per se. And it's really something that I never thought that I would be doing. But with just about everything, you know, when I'm faced with a challenge, I'm ready to step up to that challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you.